100cc motorcycling racing. This is the warm-up lap. Enjoy, and we'll be back right after the race.
Qualifying, Ricardo feeling a bit tender as well. He managed to go through the screen and just land on his chest on the fork stanchions of the front forks, and that is a very painful experience. And he's out of the racetrack, but he's feeling a little bit battered and bruised. Big disappointment, of course, for the rider, the team and the crowd, and that's Tetsuya Rada. His team is Aprilia with their 500, and he is back on the fourth row of the grid. This up and down hilly Imola circuit not best suited to the Aprilia. And well, can Alex Barros overcome his tumble? He managed to step off in a big way during qualifying, but he qualified on the front row of the grid. That's, of course, a very capable, competent rider, 28 years of age. Came over here illegally. He was only 15 when he started racing, pretended he was 16. So he's had 13 or 14 years of experience. What he lacks, sadly, is consistency. And sometimes makes great starts, sometimes has great rides, doesn't always manage to maintain that pace all the way through. Something you can't say about Alex Crivier and Kenny Roberts. Well, one man who knows all about 500cc racing is Sean Emmett. You did your share. You know what it's all about, Sean.
That's right, Chris. Yeah, I did the 500 race here back in '96, the last year of my 4-year stint in the 500 class. So I know all about this circuit. It's very demanding on the 500. As you say, very undulating and quite ripply from where the Formula 1 cars push the tarmac, when they immense amount of braking with the four huge tyres. It actually pushes the tarmac and ripples it. So going into the chicanes is quite ripply on the brakes, so got to be careful about losing the front end. But I think it's going to be a great race here, pretty much running to form. Crivelet on the front row with Roberts. So but I don't discount anybody on the second row. Ricardo, hopefully, if he's fit, will go well. But here we go.
And 25 laps ahead of the field then in this 500cc City of Imola Grand Prix. Away they go out around the Imola racetrack, and a good start from Kenny Roberts Jr. on the Suzuki number 10. Is he going to hit the front first? He's going to be on the inside, I think that was of well, he wasn't Crivier. Crivier, I think, was on the outside. We'll just check that, but certainly was Kenny Roberts who led. And a good start for the Suzuki man.
It is Crivelet.
He was Crivier, but he went to the other side of the track then to make that start. Look at Kenny Roberts. Are we going to see another repeat of what we saw in the 125 and the 250? And that's the man in front stretching an advantage over the opposition. Tetsuya Rada a long way back on the 500 Aprilia. And it's Kenny Roberts Jr. from Crivier, Akada, then Arbe, Checker, John Kosinski, Alex Barros, Max Biaggi. He landed on his ear as well during practice. Regis Laconi and his teammate in the Red Bull Yamaha squad, the Australian Gary McCoy, rounding up the top 10. Well, Sean Emmett, as we said, a 500 Grand Prix rider. Butterflies in the tummy for all these guys. Long since forgotten once those lights change.
Absolutely. Now they're into race mode, and the track looks really good. They've got the best of the weather, definitely. Tyres will be getting up to temperature now, end of this lap. So, yeah, settling down for a good race. Let's just see. Hopefully, we won't have another runaway like we've had in the 125 and 250s. I don't think that will be the case. Crivelet and Okada be strong on the Hondas, so we'll just see how it pans out.
And Kenny Roberts doesn't like to be called Kenny Roberts Jr., but to an old man like me, I'm afraid he is Kenny Roberts Jr., because it was his dad, King Kenny Roberts, that I saw in action here at this racetrack years and years ago on during the Imola 200s. Kenny Roberts chip off the old block, but beginning to look like his dad. That's pretty much of an insult, I think. And Crivier unable to shake off Tadej Okada. Well, anyone who watched that remarkable Czech Republic Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago will know that 500s can bite. We saw Jamie Whittam go down. You know they can bite, though, anyway, don't you, Sean?
Oh, absolutely. The thing with these bikes is, compared to super bikes, they're ever so light, very, very rigid frames, and with a huge amounts of power, you know, up 200 horsepower now. So 1 minute you can be on the bike thinking it's all hunky-dory, next minute you're flying through the air, and when you fly through the air on these, you fly a long way.
Well, one man missing, of course, still out of action through injury is Michael Doohan, and I suppose on one hand you could say he's sadly missed. Oh, and there's an example of how those...
I don't think that'll be biting anyone for a while, Chris. It looked more like a chopper.
That's an expensive... how much was that damage there?
Well, if the frame's gone and that probably looking at about £80,000 worth of damage. The bike was written off, so new front, that's just a disaster.
And talking of a disaster, Kenny Roberts' disaster is happening here because that lead that he'd worked so hard to make is coming down foot by foot, yard by yard, as Alex Cribillé and Tadej Okada home in on the Californian. The Suzuki man being reeled in by the Repsol Hondas of the Cribillé and the Okada task force. Suzuki leading the race, and the rest of the field beginning to drop off a little bit now.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see with Kenny Roberts Jr., the Suzuki. It's a very temperamental bike. I did 4 Grand Prix, but when it was Lucky Strike Suzuki, when Schwantz was injured, and when the bike was good, it was fantastic. But sometimes you could be out running good pace, but that, you know, it tends to eat rear tyres a bit. So we'll have to watch and see whether that bike is, you know, performing at the end of the race. Whereas the Hondas, it's a known package, it's a good solid. Well, it's the best package out there, so let's just see if Suzuki's having a good day or not.
And that's Norik Abe, a little bit further back. Behind him, Alex Barros. Well, Barros, as we said before, Superman, very nice character, but so inconsistent, and at times was known as a sort of mobile chicane at times, wasn't he? He would make great starts and hold people up. Right behind him, though, is the Italian hero in this particular race, Max Biaggi, the Roman Emperor. He's made a big impact in 500cc racing, but he's a long way back, and he'll want to start passing people real soon.
Well, as you're saying with Barros, he's going to have his work cut out, because Barros is notoriously late on the brakes, but doesn't carry an awful lot of corner speed. So what happens is guys would get in behind him, couldn't get past him into the corner, and then find they're running up the back of him through the corner. So they're just a very frustrating rider to follow, and he is fairly erratic. On his day, well, he's won Grand Prix, so he's shown he's got the pace to do it, but he is a bit up and down in form.
And here comes Alex Cribillé lining up, just getting himself fired up. He's going to pass, or attempt to pass, Kenny Roberts any minute now. A 3-rider battle in front, a 4-rider battle further back.
Oh.
And Carlos Checa, well, battered and bruised. His race is over, and he is, I think that's defeated rider rather than defeated motorcycle.
Yeah, he said his fingers were pretty badly injured yesterday in a crash, and it's a shame because he was going really well again, but he'll be back, I'm sure, and at least he knows he's still on the pace. But these bikes are so hard to ride when you're fully fit. When you're injured, they are just absolute animals. I mean, there's so much braking. The braking forces with the carbon discs are tremendous, and then you get the bike wants to wheelie all the time, and it really is. Well, without a doubt, they're the hardest bikes in the world to ride at speed.
I understand that Checa has crashed more than 20 times this year. which is remarkable. It's more times than even you crashed in your years on the 500.
I think in my career, I think there's more times than I've crashed. No, I don't like crashing. It hurts too much.
That's a lot, though, isn't it, to be off? But over 20 times. I think it's 22 or 23 crashes this year now.
Well, it is, and to get away with it, really, without being seriously injured is the main thing. And you just can't do it. I mean, law of averages says one time you're going to crash and it's going to really hurt. So best not to. But well, he'll live to fight another day.
No changes further back. We were talking about the fact that Barros was behind Norik Arbe and ahead of Max Biaggi, and that's how it is still. Now, is it the question that Alex and Teddy don't want to pass Roberts yet, or can't get past him?
I think they're biding their time. I think as long as Alex looks over his shoulder and sees his teammate there, he's not going to worry, and they're in a group on their own. They'll just conserve their tyres because these things, you know, spin up quite a bit, and they can just take it easy behind.
What do you mean by spin up quite a bit?
Well, because there's so much power, obviously, putting, you know, 200 horsepower through the palm of your hand, the top contact area, they do wheel spin a lot. So if you're in the lead, you'll be pushing really hard, whereas behind, they can just take it easy. And
Barros just dives through on the inside of Arbe, but he leaves a gap on the inside, and Arbe tries to wind up the Yamaha through. Will he have him on this corner? No, he won't. So Alex goes past another rider, and Max Biaggi has got another problem to face, but of a different kind.
Yeah, well, I think Max has really been struggling here. I mean, he's just not been on the pace all weekend, and he qualified on the second row, but he's been complaining bitterly about the Yamaha, and he's not been happy. And I think basically once you start blaming the bike as much as he does, your head just, you're not going to win a Grand Prix because his confidence is so far down at the moment. He's going to struggle. Absolutely.
I wouldn't argue with you. You're the rider, Sean, and you know it. But Max Biaggi used to complain quite a lot about his 250, and he used to win on the 250.
Yeah, but that's the difference. You can complain if you're winning. You can complain. If you're not winning, people just think you're a whinger. So really, he's just got to get on with it because there's other guys out there on Yamahas who are going okay. And he's just
Crevier looking for the inside line. No chance there. Sorry to butt in on you, Sean, but I think it looks as though Crevier's all set. He's probing one side, then the other, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Alex is just going to sit there for a while, and as long as I say, if they keep pulling away from the guys behind, he's not going to panic to overtake him, but he's braking right down on him there.
John Kosinski back in 10th place, and if we're looking for inconsistency, little John's the man, isn't he?
He is the one guy that's really amazed me because he's had 500 history, he's won 500 Grand Prix, he came from winning the World Superbike Championship, and I really thought he would be a big front runner.
And Irv Kanemoto knows how to make motorcycles go, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think he should work on tuning John Kosinski's brain rather than the bike, because I think that's the problem. When John's on form, he's great, but no, he's just not on it at the moment. And maybe we'll see him back in Superbikes if he continues this sort of form.
Maybe so. And Barros being pursued and pushed by Arbe and Max Biaggi. Perhaps he's just starting to close a little bit on this leading trio, and if it here comes Crevier on the inside, has he got him? And Ricardo's on the other side. Well, poor old Kenny Roberts Jr., he was going to be the sandwich in a Repsol Honda meat outer wrapping, and suddenly he managed to wind up the wick and hold them both off, didn't he?
Well, he did, and Ricardo's come out best of that because he's slipped up into second place now. And
Barros is closing. Barros is dragging that group. Are we going to be in for a 6 or 7 rider 500cc battle? Now, there's a thought, isn't it?
Well, I think it's certainly going to happen unless they can get past Kenny Roberts Jr., because he's obviously holding these two Honda guys up. And I think that's why they suddenly had to rush of blood into that chicane and tried to mug him.
Yeah. Well, they certainly tried to do that, but look at this. Number 10, that's Roberts. Number 8, Teddy Ricardo. Number 3 is Crevier. Behind them, it's number 8. Sorry, that's it's Barros. Then number 6, Arbe, and number 2, Max Biaggi. Regis Laconi is 7th. Number Aoki 8th. Then Gary McCoy, John Kosinski wrapping up the top 10. Back in 3rd place, and it's a fair way to the checkered flag, so he's not going to panic just yet. Drifts very wide indeed. Crevier having to ride hard to stay with them.
I don't know if he got a bit ruffled by Okada going past him. Sometimes that happens when you get past like that. It just takes your concentration, and it takes you a lap or two to get your rhythm back. But certainly he's got the pace. He'll be back with these guys before long.
We're talking about John Kosinski maybe coming back to World Superbikes because there may not be a home for him in 500 Grand Prix. Do you think he'll bounce back and be a force in World Superbikes again?
I think so, because he'll come back into it, and it's very much a mental game, this, and he'll come back into it as thinking, well, I was world champion when I left this class, so he'll expect to do it again.
Here comes Teddy Okada, sorry to butt in, Sean, and has he got him? No, he's not. Kenny Roberts just chops the ground away from him, steals the line, but Barros is right with them. What a ride from Alex Barros. Well, we shall soon see whether Kenny Roberts really is holding them up, because Alex Barros riding absolutely superbly. Number 5, Alex Barros getting close. Oh, and there we go. Teddy Okada's got him. Now, are they all going to go past Kenny Roberts now?
Well, we'll see if Teddy can stretch away. Obviously, Crevier will not want to let his teammate get too far away, so... Roberts is fighting back, though.
Roberts dives underneath Teddy Okada, regains the lead. It's Okada second, Crevier third, then Barros. Behind Barros, it's Norik Abe and Max Biaggi, the Roman Emperor, right at the end of this group. Regis Laconi isn't far away, and a little bit further back, Nobuatsu Aoki. What a great 500cc race this is.
Well, it's amazing. Aoki back there must be in 9th place, just off the back of this bunch. He's just set the fastest lap, so he's obviously thinking, I could get with these guys. And, well,
Abe goes ahead of Barros, so it's Norik Abe up into 4th place. And we were talking before we came on air about Norik Abe, about you can almost compare it with John Kosinski for inconsistency.
Wow, that's right. He was fantastic. He stormed onto the scene when he won the Suzuka Grand Prix about 5 years ago as a wild card, and people thought he was just going to be absolutely a sensation. And he seems to suffer. He seems to go better when he's not in an official factory team. When he was with Rainey in the Marlborough squad, he bombed out, and now he's coming back to form again.
And Regis Laconi, the young Frenchman, is closing on this group as well. And it really is getting very, very tight indeed. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Was that Max? Oh, no, that was Norik Abe going through to ease out Alex Barros once again. Barros had gone past him, and Norik Abe. Here comes Barros on the inside, though. Woo! A little hard on the brakes, I think, there, Sean.
Yeah, I think he's just locked the front wheel there. Lucky to get away with that, and I'm sure Abe will probably have the run on him down the straight here.
That's a quick bike of Barros, though.
Wow, that's amazing. Barros had a really bad line through the chicane, and
no drive, you would have thought.
That's Honda power for you.
Absolutely. Well, here we go. 3 riders in front, 5 riders behind. It could become an 8-rider convoy. We shall soon see. And Max Biaggi, I'm sure, is being urged on in the thoughts, if not the words, of all the spectators here around the Imola circuit. Out in front, Kenny Roberts regaining the advantage. He lost it a couple of times. Teddy Okada, the man who got past him. Kenny Roberts bounced back, and he's leading the 500cc Grand Prix here at Imola in Italy. Teammate Alex Crevier right behind him, then Alex Barros, then Norik Abe, then Max Biaggi, and Regis Laconi. And who is that at the rear of the group, Sean? Oh, there's Warren Willing, the Suzuki chief mechanic now. Great rider in his day, and now a very experienced man. He's been around in 1 or 2 teams, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, Warren spent so long with Kenny Roberts with the Yamahas, and I think it's no surprise that since he's joined the Suzuki squad, they've really got their act together. He's a very switched on guy, excellent with the chassis, so that's why the bike's been working so well this year.
Well, look at Barros breathing down the neck of Alex Crevier. Would you have credited it? We know it's quick. We know that thing of Barros is a quick motorcycle. Is it quick enough to launch him up into second or third place? We're on board with Alex Crivier behind Kenny Roberts and Tadej Okada. 16 laps to go. And it was Nobuatsu Aoki I couldn't identify at the rear end of that group. Barros still holding off the close attentions of Norigabe. Regis Laconi a little bit further back. Well, we were talking, we're trying to say that Michael Doohan's still missing from the racetrack, but not really missing if we're going to have 500cc races like this.
Well, no, it's fantastic. It's great because at the moment it's anyone's race. You don't know what the guys are thinking. There'll be some guys who are happy sitting there just taking their time. There are other guys that will be absolutely flat out riding 100% just to stay with the bunch. So it's a real mixed bag, but Crivier's just gone through on Okada now, so I think he's the man who wants to make a move.
I think so. Crivier then, the Spaniard, goes ahead of Tadej Okada. Remember, Okada battered and bruised after being flung out of the saddle, coming down on the Perspex fairing, breaking that, and then landing on his chest on the fork stanchion. That's painful, isn't it, Sean?
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had the fork stanchions in the chest too much, so I've had the petrol tank a few times, but that must be horrendous. I'm sure he's riding under some kind of, well, I won't say he's on drugs, but something.
Now, Max Biaggi losing another place there. Max has gone back behind Nobuatsu Aoki. Has he trying to come back on the inside? Is he going to have him? Kenny Roberts, Crivier, still Tadej Okada. Really, this is tremendous. This is a combo. Just great stuff, nose to tail. Look at that, a second covering the top 5. You can't ask for more than that. And Max Biaggi finally gets ahead one more time of Nobuatsu Aoki on the second Suzuki. This is a racetrack that the Suzukis must like.
Well, obviously, because to be fair, Aoki's been struggling really. Kenny Roberts has been flying the flag for Suzuki, but yeah, he's right in there. I mean, he's got every chance of getting up and working his way up this field. So Suzuki's obviously are well suited to the circuit. It seems to be the Yamahas that are struggling here. It's a Honda and Suzuki circuit today.
Yeah, Abe in 5th place, Max Biaggi right behind him, and Max apparently unable to get any higher and never really doesn't look as though he can challenge Norigabe. Well, having said that, of course, the first Okada will mean that Max will go flying past him any second now. The front wheel of Biaggi's Yamaha lifts high in the air. He puts the power on. And Kenny Roberts still holds off all the challengers. And we can't say it's because he's holding them up, because they got past him and he zapped him again, didn't he, Sean?
Yeah, I thought he was holding them up to start with, but I'm still not sure if Alex Crivier is just biding his time and keeping his tyres in good condition to make a really good spurt at the end of the race and try and break them. But he's in a good position now for a slipstream, maybe for outbreaking into Tamburello.
Will he go through on the inside? Yes, he does. Trying to. Has he got it? Yes, he has. Well called, but drifts ever so wide, and Kenny Roberts comes back. Oh, that was close. Incredibly close. Well, you called it right, Sean. You said it was going to happen, but Kenny Roberts, having seen it happen, said, oh, no, no, no.
No, I think, yeah, Alex just got in there a bit too hot, couldn't hold the line, and Kenny just came back and, you know, blocked past him, really. So I think Alex is going to have to think about this. He wants to pass him. It's obvious that Kenny doesn't want Alex in the lead because perhaps he feels he might start edging away from him.
Now, the man that continues to confuse me still is Alex Barros here, who has a... well, let's talk us through this again.
Well, he runs in, but there he wants to keep to the left, but he can't, so Kenny's got the line, and he just really blocks him, and Alex has to back off, otherwise they're going to collide, and normally Alex would be the one that would have gone down from there.
Shrewd, clever riding, brave riding from...
very strong rider, yeah, not dirty at all, just strong, and just really telling Alex, look, hey, if you're going to pass me, you're going to have to make it stick.
Now, why can't Barros, having caught these three guys and staying with them, look at that, he's as quick as them, does he not want to try? Is he, in turn, going to leave it for a little bit later in the race?
No, I think Alex Barros is definitely the type of rider. He'll go up through this field as quick as he can because he likes to lead. And he'd like to be in second place now. Oh, it's a good move from Crivier.
And this time he is going to make it stick, I think.
Yeah, I think the Honda power should be enough there. And Alex Crivier...
Here comes the Kenny, though. Look at that.
Wow.
The Suzuki is a rocket ship today. Great performance from Kenny Roberts and a great performance from Suzuki. A bit of an eye-opener.
Wow, I've never seen a Honda pass down the straight. What's going on?
Surely some mistake. And Alex Crivier takes a long look over his shoulder, just counts heads and thinks, my goodness, there's a lot of them. Well, we talked about the tyres, didn't we?
Here comes Barros.
Oh, Barros up into third. Well, that is remarkable. Of course, Tadej Okada, as we know, is battered and bruised. Maybe this is the point in the race when Tadej is going to start to suffer a little bit. And Norik Abe is going to be breathing down his neck. So too is Max Biaggi. And I'm not belittling Alex Barros, but I suspect that it is the pain that Tadej Okada is feeling that's making life difficult for him.
Well, for sure, I know he missed warm-up yesterday because he was feeling so sore and he went out in qualifying, but he looked good. I watched the qualifying, he looked good, but it's all very well stringing 2 or 3 laps together, but when you get a 20-odd lap race, you're going to start hurting, and these are hard to ride. But, well, Alex Barros is he's closing down on Crivier now. So, as I say, he'll probably try and take the lead if he can.
Regis Laconi, the Frenchman on the Red Bull Yamaha, the rear of this group. Crivier lining himself up. The Repsol Honda mechanics of Crivier watching it all. Does this mean that Jeremy Burgess has been holiday making all the time Michael Doohan has been injured?
I would presume so. I'm sure he won't be looking, because they didn't replace Doohan with anybody, so...
And Crivier tries on the inside line, can't do it, and that will allow Barros to get that little bit closer. Oh, here comes Barros. That thing is very quick indeed, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, again, Alex Crivier just compromised his line by having a look up the inside there. And we'll get just over half race distance now, so... I think Alex is struggling here. He's struggling to find a pass that he can put on Kenny Roberts and make it stick.
And he's also got the additional problem that he's got these 6 riders still behind him, hasn't he?
Well, that's it. The last thing you want, he's trying to concentrate on getting a good lining up Kenny Roberts for a good, clean pass, and then he can have someone behind suddenly stuff him because he tries to take a good line for some drive out onto the next straight, and someone stuffs him up the inside. So it's pretty tricky. It's always hard work when you're in a bunch like this, and that's why he'll be desperate to get away if he can, but who knows?
Is anybody coasting in this group?
I think he's just going up the inside. Oh, yes, he is. Can he hold? I think he's going to make that stick now.
Well, he's not been able to do it so far. Kenny Roberts has always been found a way past, and here comes Barros as well, and Powich can be a little bit forceful. Oh, as I spoke, and Kenny Roberts comes back underneath Barros. Well, Barros is brave. You could never take that away. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Well, this is getting desperate, and Norik Abe can see a chance to do something, and Tadej Okada is back in 4th place with the best view in the house.
Well, that was, well, that's the last thing Kenny Roberts would have wanted, Alex coming up the inside there, Alex Barros, that is, because it's let Crivier get away. And as you can see, you know, he's opened up half a second now, and we'll see if perhaps Alex was being held up slightly by Kenny. Time will tell, but it's half race distance now, so it'll be an ideal opportunity for Crivier to put his foot down now and get out the area.
And here's Barros. Now, where is Kenny Roberts? Oh, well, we're watching from Roberts. I'm sorry, I thought we were watching from Crivier. No, there's Barros in 3rd place. And Are they closing? Yeah, they're closing down on Alex Crevier. He's not breaking clear. Sean?
Well, I can just see this going on to the end. I don't think anybody's going to break away at this rate, because there's certain areas where Alex is quicker than Kenny, and obviously vice versa. So as long as no one really gets into some serious fairing bashing and starts forcing people off the track and so on, I think the group is going to stay together. You may only end up with a 4-rider group at the end of the race, but I can't see anyone really breaking away at the moment.
The only one who appears to be really struggling to stay on the pace is Max, isn't he, really? Who's not really in contention.
Yeah, I think Biaggi's just, well, he's certainly having an off weekend, and he's not happy with the Yamaha, and he's not going to, I can't see, I'll eat my hat if he figures on the roster. And
we'll get the salt and pepper ready. Alex Crevier then, the race leader. And here comes Barros on the inside. You cannot leave Alex Barros any size gap on any corner, can you? He'll stuff it underneath you. And Cito Pons there, watching the action with a certain amount of interest.
Well, Tadej Carter just lost a place there. Had a big slide coming out onto the straight, which obviously lost him drive. And I think it was Arbe that breezed past him. No, it may have been Biaggi, actually. It was, yeah. I think Taddy's struggling with fitness now with the injuries, so he's definitely going to be in the battle for the minor places now.
You can perhaps tell us from the book of words, when was the last time that Cito Pons had a podium finish for his Movistar team this year?
Well, that could be a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I'll have a look. I'll work on that.
You work on that, Sean, as we watch the racing. And here's Alex Barros on Cito Pons' machine. And he, in turn, is now coming under pressure from Norik Arbe. And Barros then in second place ahead of Kenny Roberts Jr. And Norik Arbe wants to go through as well. So Barros goes second, the Brazilian, on the Movistar on the Pons machine. Chasers Alex Crevier. Kenny Roberts relegated to third spot. Fourth, though, is Norik Arbe. Now, maybe these front four have made the break. Well, no, they've not, because the man that I thought was out of it, the Roman Emperor, my hero, is there in fifth spot, and maybe he's just cruising. Who knows? Crevier. Then Alex Barros, then Kenny Roberts. Roberts on the Suzuki chasing the two Hondas. Then it's two Yamahas in the form of Norik Arbe and Max Biaggi. Then it's Tadej Carter. Then it's the Yamaha of the Red Bull team man Regis Laconi. Then it's the Suzuki of Nobuatsu Aoki.
Well, getting back to your earlier question, Chris, they haven't had a rostrum this year. That's why.
Well, no wonder Cito Pons was looking quite fired up there. It could be on the cards. Are they going to see their first win?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Alex Barros has got no championship really to go for, obviously. So he'll be going for it. He'd love to get a win. I mean, and put one over on Crevier. And there'll be no team orders there, because although they're both on Hondas, they're completely separate teams. So. And
of course, Cito Pons, as a Spaniard, would very much like his man to beat the Spaniard.
Of course he would, yes.
Up the hill they go, and then they start to come down again. Crevier trying to stretch the advantage. Good ride from Alex Barros. This is his best ride. I mean, not just in terms of performance, of position, but of actual consistent high-speed lap after lap.
Well, he actually looks one of the most comfortable riders out there. Very smooth. Crevier also looks good, to give him his credit. But these two look like the quality of the class at the moment. And I don't know, Kenny Roberts faded off a slight bit, but he may be able to close them back down. But I certainly feel as though an Alex could win this race. Which one, I don't know.
Safe betting now. Can Norik Arbe, number 6, get ahead of Kenny Roberts Jr.? And if he does, if he goes, will Max Biaggi go with him? Putting the pressure on the Suzuki man. Well, we had the feeling that Kenny Roberts was having to ride very hard indeed to keep that Suzuki at the front of the field, and he's now having to ride just as hard to hold off the Yamahas, isn't he?
Yeah.
Away goes Norik.
He's on the wrong side, though, so He's not going to get in there. Yeah, the Yamahas seem to be, well, certainly Abe's going good, but Biaggi's he's come back on form, but he doesn't look as threatening as Abe. Abe looks as though he really could push for the front. And he's, as I say that, he goes past Kenny Jr., so, well, I don't know if Roberts has got a problem or his tyres, his bike looks to be working good. It's just perhaps the other guys are starting to up the pace now.
And what odds are you going to offer me of Max Biaggi on the podium?
Well, I've already said I'd eat my hat, so my hands are starting to sweat a bit now.
Didn't want to remind you of that, but certainly Norick Abe starting to stretch. Certainly once they get ahead of Kenny was really having to ride very hard indeed, and once they've got past him, these guys are able to start to pull away, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, look, the gap that Abe's pulled half a second on him, certainly he's pulled 10-15 bike lengths. In fact, oh, that's Alex Barros. Someone's across the grass there. Someone just went straight on the chicane, so they'll probably be at the back of the group now.
I'll try and work out who that was. And it was Kenny Roberts, because there's Max on his own. It's Abe, then Kenny Roberts, then Taddy Okada, and it was Kenny Roberts Jr. So you could see how hard he was trying. He's dropped a long way back, hasn't he?
Yeah,
there he is.
I think he could fall to Laconi next, and his teammate even could pass him. But I think. Do you think it took
too much out of his tyres?
I don't think so, because the bike doesn't appear to be sliding around too much. I don't know if perhaps it's a steering problem or because he seems to be using all the circuit. I don't know. Just whatever's happened is not good news for him.
And Max Biaggi in 4th place. This could be an interesting phenomenon. I don't know whether they can bring a camera into the studio to watch Sean Emmett eat his hat, but it's a tempting prospect.
It's I did tell you it's a miniature jelly one.
No, you failed to mention that. Now, can Alex Barros win this one? We've talked about it. He's not being shaken off by Alex Greville, and as you said quite rightly, Alex really has got to consider the whole picture, hasn't he? He wants to win the war. He doesn't have to win every battle to win the war. Alex Barros has no chance of winning the war, so he can try that a little bit harder, and trying he is. And well, Norick Abe is getting closer and closer. And if somebody said at the start of this race that Norick Abe could perhaps win this race, you'd say you're insane, couldn't you?
Well, you wouldn't believe it, that's for sure, because the Yamahas do seem to be struggling here, but he is riding fantastic. And, well, he's closing right down on them, and I wouldn't be surprised if he sets the fastest lap on this lap.
I think you may have saved you your sugar trilby.
Well, yeah, that's true. And Abe has been on the rostrum twice this year, once in Japan, where obviously he excels, but only 2 GPs ago in Germany, so he's running in quite a rich vein of form at the moment. So, and well, he's right down on them now. He's closed them right back down.
So 19 laps gone out of 25. That's 6 more to go. It's Greville, Barros, Abe, Biaggi, Okada, Kenny Roberts being pushed all the way. A little bit further back by Regis Laconi and Nobuatsu Aoki. John Kaczynski another 5 seconds back in 9th place. Gary McCoy 10th, but he's 5 seconds back on Kaczynski. Then Sete Gibernau in 11th spot. And Barros looks as fresh and as strong as ever. Here comes Norick Abe, fastest lap of the race so far, 1:49.486. Very impressive stuff. Barros is really charging, isn't he? I think Alex has quickened the pace, hasn't he? I think that's it. I think they're now all responding. It's now or never, isn't it?
Well, I have to say, I think that Alex Barros looks the most comfortable still. He's not using as much track as the rest of the guys. Abe's on an absolute mission. I mean, he'll either catch them or he'll be in the gravel trap. But he's riding fantastically well. He's got the thing sideways everywhere. He's always good fun to watch. And I hope he gets up there and starts mixing it with them, because we've only got 6 laps to go now, I think.
Well, less than 6 laps now. Max Biaggi trailing a little bit. I think Sean Emmett's hat is safe, unless one of these front three manage to bin it, put it in the gravel trap. Oof. And as I said, Alex goes off the track a little bit there because he's under a lot of pressure from the Brazilian. Alex Barros going to give Cito Pons as Movistar Honda squad their best result of the year, whatever happens, provided he finishes in the top 3. We know that. He could give him a win. Cito Pons would love him forever for that. Riviere, of course, doing his World Championship hopes no harm at all by this fine ride at the front of the field. We've got to give credit to Norik Arbe, who was ridden magnificently in 3rd spot, dropping off. Max Biaggi, Tadej Okada in a lot of discomfort, hanging on there to the shirt tails of Max Biaggi. But the interest is at the front of the field, the battle for 1st and 2nd.
Well, I've just been watching Alex Crivier, and his bike is wheel spinning an awful lot. He was sideways through the chicane, and Alex Barros' bike, on the other hand, is absolutely solid as a rock. It's looking really good. I think Alex Barros could win this one. It just depends how much he wants it, but he's definitely saved his tyres better than Alex Crivier. Whether he's running a harder rear tyre and it's working better at the end, but he's looking good, very smooth, very comfortable.
Are there any parts of the circuit where you think Alex Crivier is quicker than Alex Barros and vice versa?
Well, the thing with the two Alexes is they're both the last of the late breakers, so to put a move on Crivier, Alex is going to have to get tremendous drive down the straight, and his bike does look quick, but they're both Hondas, so they're going to be fairly equal. And it's hard to say, really, because it looks as though Barros is just sitting behind Crivier, so he doesn't drop back at any point in the circuit, so I'm sure he'll know where he's going to line him up for. Maybe he wants to do it on the last lap or the penultimate lap, but I think he's saving it right towards the end so that he can shock Alex and then make a bolt for home.
And you could see the rather worried, apprehensive mechanics for Norik Arbe. 4 laps to go, the tension beginning to build here at Imola, the 500cc race. What a turn-up for the books this is. Crivier out in front, and Alex Barros riding his best race of the year, not just for himself, but for the Movistar Honda squad. Norik Arbe in 3rd spot, Biaggi 1.5 seconds further, 2.5 seconds further back. Kosinski out of contention. Roberts is back in 8th place now. The bubble has burst as far as that Suzuki rider is concerned, and I think that was Nobuatsu Aoki who's gone ahead of him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. But the interest really is just at the front. I don't think Arve's going to get involved in this battle for the win, but he's certainly looking dead safe for a rostrum.
Barros keeps looking at times if he's winding himself up to launch an attack. He's great at diving through on the inside, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's just putting up a few dummy moves here. He's testing the water, thinking, you know, could I do it here, could I do it here? And as I say, I think he's going to leave it till the last lap or the penultimate lap, and hopefully shock Alex Crivier. And as I said to you earlier in the race, when you get past, it does take a while to get your momentum back. And oh no. Oh,
made a mess of that. He got it all wound up, and he was well offline, and suddenly realised he was going to just ding into the back. And Cito Pons, well, I think whatever was said in Spanish there was relevant and to the point.
Yeah, I think it was a half-hearted move, and suddenly he was almost committed and thought, oh dear, this is not going to work, and I'm going to T-bone Crivier here. So he had to lift up, but I think he's got the pace to get back with him now.
I think he has, but has he lost confidence? He may have the pace, but will that have unnerved him?
No, I don't think so. You don't get unnerved. I mean, Alex saw Crivier there, absolute tank slapper out the back. He's really trying hard now. And he'd have probably felt that. He'd have seen Barros momentarily get up the inside, and so he'll know that he's under pressure now.
Well, indeed. So Crivier, the Spaniard, trying to hold off the Brazilian, the Japanese star Norik Arbe, still there in 3rd place. He's not really launched an all-out attack, has he?
Well, I think he's tried to. He's just... that's what happens when you get to the front of any race. the pace is always hot, and you're looking at taking 1/10 of a second out of someone. You know, that'll take you a whole lap to do, and these guys are maybe 0.3, 0.4 ahead of him, and it might take him 4 laps to get with him even. So they're all trying as hard as each other, obviously, and you've got Alex Crivier, who's leading the World Championship by some 51 points or something. So he's obviously running really well this year. He's very confident. Since Doohan's been injured, I think he realised he was the favourite for the championship, so he expects to win. But it's going to be close. I think Alex is going to, Barros that is, he's going to close down on him, but whether he's made a mistake and that might have cost him the race.
Well, he certainly made a big mistake. We saw that. Winding up for an attack. Is he close enough? Can he get close enough again? The laps are coming down all the time. Crivier leads through the chicane, past the pits. Oh, again, Crivier.
Well, his rear tyre is really, you know, let's just say past its best, and he's spinning that thing up for all it's good. And Alex...
That'll encourage Alex.
Well, Barros just set the fastest lap there, 49.3, so he's right on the pace. As I said to you, his tyres look good. He's got the tyres to win the races. Whether he can just get the right move put on Alex Crivier, because Crivier is a wily fox now, and he'll be covering all the areas he can.
That was Crivier's pit. We saw looking very, very concerned and worried as they might, because Barros is closing. Oh dear, and Norik RB crashes out. Norik RB goes down, and Sean Emmett is going to be eating a hat, because up into 3rd place and onto the podium goes Max Biaggi. Well, Max Biaggi, the Roman Emperor, frantic work there by Norik RB's by the marshals to get Norik RB out on the racetrack. Here comes Alex Barros winding up for an attack. And Max Biaggi, I'm sure, cannot believe his good fortune.
Well, that was just ridiculous, really, from Arve. I mean, I don't really think he was ever going to push for a win here. He had an absolute safe rostrum, but maybe he thought he could run up there. Maybe he was trying to extra... That mistake from Barros gave him a bit of heart and thought maybe I could get second here, but he's really blown it now, and I can't believe that Biaggi's going to finish 3rd.
Okay, here we come. We're coming up to the final lap. It's crunch time. Can Alex Crivier, number 3, hold off Alex Barros, number 5? Barros gets closer and closer and closer. Well, we've seen drama on the last lap in 2 of the 3 races today. We've seen drama on the penultimate lap of this one. Are we going to see any more drama? Are we going to see Crivier or Barros just go over the top? There's the new 3rd place man, number 2, Max Biaggi. Now, Biaggi, absolutely sensational. And here they come. They're all wound up. It's the final charge. Crivier trying. He's absolutely on the limit. Barros right with him.
Well, this is it now. Barros has got... There's a downhill left-hander, which you can... Well, if he's not going to do it into here, they go up the hill now over a blind. It's a blind left-hander. You come over the crest and have to flick it hard left on the brakes. Over the brow. He's not close enough here, so as far as I can see, he's got 1 place left. I don't think he can do it into this next chicane. He'll have to get a good run down the hill and try and take him into that double left.
Crivier holds him off. Barros, we know, has got a powerful motor. We know the tyres are better, probably, than Crivier's machine. The question is ability. Both men, top riders.
Well, this is the key here. The drive out the chicane over the hill. Oh, big slide from Barros. I think he's blown it.
Yeah. Barros got the back end stepping out. Crivier doesn't know that. Crivier, all he knows is that he's got to keep charging. Well, if Barros doesn't win this one, you can't take anything away from him. He has ridden superbly. Crivier ridden masterfully. It's the last lap. Barros closing, but it's all too late unless something dramatic happens on this final chicane. Crivier is going to win this one. Alex Crivier, the charge to the line, a wheelie, and jubilation from Crivier's team. Look at this. Max Biaggi, the Roman Emperor, finishes in 3rd place, and they're delighted with that. The rest of the field coming through. Okada grabs 4th place. Kenny Roberts 6th, just behind Regis Laconi. But all credit to the 2 Alexes. Alex going to be winning another Grand Prix, tightening his grip at the top of the championship battle. But certainly Alex Barros, the Brazilian, who moved up superbly throughout the race. And Max is he's happy with that, Sean.
I can't talk, I've got my mouth full of ham.
Quite right too. Korea then, having just stretched the advantage at the top of the World Championship table. He's fortunate perhaps that Michael Doohan is injured and out of it, but the record books at the end of this season will not say World Champion because somebody was injured. It will merely say World Champion.